Hello, students. So now we'll solve this advanced age problem in terms of one variable. So let's get the keys. What we have, the information, so let's start. So there is a situation 5 years ago. So we have time factors which we'll have to consider 5 years ago. Then Benji was twice as old as Jenna. So now we find that there are variables. One is Benji, the other one is Jenna, right? These are the variables where we'll have to find out the relationship. Two variables, but in terms of one, we'll be solving. So there is a relationship given from where we can form up equations that Benji was twice as old. Let's not consider at this moment two times. That's an operation of something. What is that? Jenna will be in 1 year. So there is another factor that we see is time factor that is in 1 year. So we see that's our future, that's our past, and if we say that's our now, it will be here. However, let's see what we have. In 1 year, there's a relationship between Benji, this is already written, three times as old as Jenna was 3 years ago. I can see that this is 3 years ago. So there is another time frame that is 3 years ago. So that should be somewhere here, 3 years ago. That is still in our past, right? So that's now. That's in 1 year. That's in 3 years. That's in 5 years, right? So let's frame the variables and get the relationship. So you have Benji here, you have Jenna here. So how do you do that? First thing, form up your relationship within the time frame. So first, here the trick is to where to put once there are several dimensions and 4 time frames. It's a little difficult. So we say now is currently or present. I better say present. Currently. Because I would say this is now future, but this is right that I better say this is now. I didn't want to say that. I want to tell that present, the screen, which means my now. So let's go back. What is written here? 5 years ago, so relationship in 5 years ago, here Benji was twice as old as Jenna will be in 1 year. So Jenna's condition if 1 year, that's 2 times of this is Benji. So if you say Jenna in 1 year is J, we can say in 5 years ago, Benji was twice than what Jenna is 1 year. Make sense? J and 2J. Now you're good to go. If Jenna is 1 year back is J, let's fix up now. that should be j minus 1, right? Because you are going back 1 year. So from Jenna, you subtract 1, you get here. Now, what is today Benji? In terms of Jenna, Benji is here 5 years back. So you'll have to come ahead of 5 years. So you say, this is 2j plus 5, right? Make sense? I'm eliminating this one. So this looks nice. So what happens 3 years ago? From here, 2j plus 5, I should subtract 3, right? So 3 minus 3 give us 2, so I can write 2j plus 3, right? Okay. No. 5 minus 3 is 2. I wrote it wrong. So it should be 2. So now what happens to Jenna? 3 years ago, currently this. So from this, if you subtract 3, you get a negative 4. So you can rewrite this as j minus negative 4. And if it's 5 years back, you subtract 5 from here. What do you get? Negative 6. So you can say this is j minus 6, right? So here what Benji will be? Today Benji is 2j plus 5. So 2j plus 5 and plus 1 year, right? You are going 1 year forward. That gives us 6. It's always good to fill out all the tables. So that should be 2j. That will help you out and you'll be confident later. You don't have to come back. So let's form up our equations. Now, since you have two variables, one variable, you can easily form one equations and move on. So let's say if I catch on from this part, that's a Benji will be in 1 year Benji will be. So in 1 year, what Benji? In 1 year, Benji is this, right? So 2, let me write it with another color so you can distinguish. 2j, because this guy will be here, plus 6 equals, let me remove that one so it will look nice. What? If you see, in 1 year Benji will be, what Benji is 2j plus 6, 3 times. So this is 3 times of what? As old as Jenna will be 3 years ago. So what Jenna was 3 years ago here and Jenna here, that is j minus 4. So we'll plug in this j minus 4 here as j minus 4. So you got an equation, right? So 2j plus 6, 3 times j minus 4. So what do you do? 2j plus 6 equals, you distribute 3j, you distribute positive, negative, negative, 3 4s are 12, right? So now what we need j, right? So we see there is 3 copies. If we can subtract that, we can get 1 copy. And since in the right hand side we get j, so we cancel out this 12, right? So we add 12, addition property of equality. So subtraction property utilizes, goes this and it gives 18, and here we get a j and this cancels. So our j equals 18. Jenna equals 18, right? So let's move on. What they asked for in the question. They said question says that how old Benji now? So what now Benji is? If you see, and this one now, Benji is 2j plus 5. So now Benji is 2j plus 5. We have found that j is 18 plus 5. So to 18, where from we got? If you see here, this, from this, right? So 18. So you got 2 times 18 is 36 plus 5, that's 41, right? Now let's check. If we keep going for check, let's meet conditions that 5 years ago Benji was, so what Benji was 5 years ago? 41 minus 5, 36, right? And let us set the check. And Benji was twice as old Jenna was in 1 year. Okay? So in 1 year, Jenna will be 18 plus 1, that's 19, right? So let's see about that. 2j plus 5, right? 41. Then 1 year Jenna will be, what Jenna was, sorry, in 1 year? In 1 year Jenna was T, that was 18, right? No plus 1, sorry. What I wanted to tell, Jenna was in 1 year. In 1 year, Jenna was J, which is our 18, right? So 18 times 2 equals 36. So you see, this 36 matches. So it's checked. That's it. So if you understand this problem, you can solve any of the quiz problems. I'll forward another video on reviewing your test questions. So you should be good.